Who owns the data on Google Drive? As more and more of our information lives in cloud storage, there are still many things left to be confused about. Today we'll be going through some of the associated data ownership and security questions relating to Google Drive. We'll assume that you have a reasonable grasp of the basic file system principles, at least as it pertains to shared files. For example, I never delete anything forever anymore. Our approach. There are several ways to think about these issues. We will walk through a few. This guide isn't meant to be exhaustive or prescriptive, but we'd love some feedback and suggestions too. If you come up with ways for us to explain things better throughout this guide, then drop a message to the Google Drive support address and let's get it in exclamation point. Our approach will be to try and keep things as simple as possible and hold each scenario at least briefly up against the principle of change. This means that if you make a mistake, you'll pay for it. If your child smashes your computer, you'll be stuck wondering what happened until nearly 3 months later. Any time after that is probably just going to be more of sucking up time. And what is consumer privacy? Consumers want to feel safe when giving their data to companies. Internet users have an idea about the value of privacy, but companies are unsure how consumers would respond to the results if a company actually did establish a privacy by default policy, as Facebook is doing right now. It appears that in order to secure consumers' trust, companies must provide clear information on data collection and its origin. Companies must also give customers more control over what they share with companies, as World Privacy Forum's recent survey found. The sample size of 1,000 respondents from the US and Europe suggested that more than 4 in 5 people wish to have control over their data. This is despite misperceptions and confusion about what kinds of privacy controls are available from a company. The complete collection of South Africa currency and coins facts. The sun is set on everything at some time, but most will agree that the South African rand's fierce battle with how you are affected by data usage in Google Drive. This recent blog post from Google shows just how much information is present on their servers. In a recent blog post by Mr. Chris Fisher, Google explains that everything can be stored on their servers. This means that people's private messages, Gmail drafts and trackers were all being stored on their servers even if they were not being read at the time. There are many privacy concerns revolving around Google Drive, such as who owns the data on Google Drive or what are the long-term effects of storing so much data in these types of companies. It even is implied in their post that these companies can't maintain information privacy within the United States since Google offers users from all over the world the product which is restricted to their customers. This has made me wonder whether other countries are giving more data protection to their customer base. To simplify training going forward, you may choose if you want to manage your privacy and social accounts with just one Google account. Connect your Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Google Plus accounts when needed. Create robust passwords with 2. Google Keyword Tool. While lists are bad for SEO, people should repurpose lists as much as possible to avoid overexposure throughout their content. Google's Keyword Research Tool, however, is not always so easy to resist. It relies on lists of topics to help generate long-tail keywords for each article. Problems arise when popular lists are converted into long-tail keyword phrases and end up with SEO problems that are difficult to fix. User-generated content. Users' personal information is saved on the Google Drive by default. They can decide whether to share their information or not and choose to provide it to Google directly, through contacts, or through searches. The more information shared, the more personal experience that Google can offer. This feature could be a huge factor for Facebook, who focus more on the social interaction rather than super new demographics in Google. According to HubSpot Market Pulse survey, only 7% of marketers limit data sharing, and Intuit is among one of those major companies who share it with clients.